All right, class, here comes a reading test, a second story. It's entitled A Giant Star. Do you know the sun is really a giant star at the center of our solar system? The sun is a large ball made of many kinds of gases. It gives light and heat to the planets that move around it. These planets make up our solar system. And now this week we've been working on diagrams, and so here's the diagram of the planets. Obviously the one in the center is the sun. And the Earth is the fourth one out. 1, 2, 3, the fourth one out. The sun rises in the eastern sky each morning. It swallows up the eerie darkness from the night before. Some people find the darkness creepy. The sun chases away the moon and stars that lurk in the night sky when they have been waiting, barely able to be seen. The shimmer and the sparkle of the sunlight mark the beginning of a new day. At the end of the day, the sun sets in the western sky. Then night returns and the stars can be seen in the dark sky overhead. Without the sun, there would be no life on Earth as we know it. There would be no spiders spinning their silky webs. There would be no elephants lumbering their enormous bodies across vast stretches of land. The large land area on Earth would be empty. All living plants and animals need the sun to survive. Without it, they would die. Plants use sunlight to make food. While doing this, they give off oxygen. Animals and people eat plants and breathe in oxygen. They breathe out carbon dioxide. Plants use carbon dioxide, energy from the sun, and water to make food. People, animals, and plants are not the only thing that depends on the sun. Earth's climate and temperature depend on the sun too. The temperature of a place on Earth depends on the position of the sun. It is cooler in the morning when the sun is lower in the sky, and as the sun rises, it becomes hotter. Then it cools down as the sun sets. Places near the equator are hot because the sun shines almost directly overhead at noon. The equator is an imaginary line that circles the middle of the Earth. Places near the North Pole and the South Pole are cold because the sun does not rise high in the sky in those places. Every 365 days, the Earth makes a trip around the sun. For 6 months, the northern half of the Earth leans towards the sun. This causes spring and summer in those parts of the world. The southern half of the Earth has fall and winter during this time. During the other 6 months, the northern half leans away from the sun. This causes fall and winter to be part of the world. This is also when the southern half has spring and summer. As you can see, the sun controls many things. It controls the food that we eat and the air that we breathe. Without the sun, nothing would survive. All right, question number 11. What text evidence supports the author's point that the sun is important? Is it the sun's a giant star? Plants and animals need the sun to survive? The sun rises in the the eastern sky each morning, and every 365 days the Earth makes a trip. Now, all those are true, but which one supports the sun is important? In other words, you die without the sun, and this is why. 12. Read the sentence from the article. It swallows up the eerie darkness from the night before. Some people find the darkness creepy. Which word in the sentence helps the reader understand what eerie means? In other words, which one would you underline if we were looking for context clues? Would it be creepy, darkness, night, and swallows? Number 13, based on text evidence, which of the following causes plants to make food? The night returns and stars can be seen in the sky above. Makes plants make food. The temperature of different places on Earth vary. Animals and people breathe out carbon dioxide. There are different seasons on Earth. Which of those helps plants make food? Now be careful on the temperature one. You want to pick that one. Just because the temperature differs doesn't mean that plants make food. One of these things is needed for plants to make food. Number 14. It says, read the sentence from the article. The sun chases away the moon and the stars that lurk in the night sky where they have been waiting, barely able to be seen. What does lurk mean in the sentence above? Lurk. Sun chases away the moon and stars that lurk in the night sky. Clutter, darken, hide, lost. All right, number 15. According to the text evidence, what is the effect of the sun rising in the eastern sky? Spiders start spinning their webs. The sun sets in the western sky. The stars become visible. The darkness disappears. Sun comes up in the east, and what does that make happen after that? Don't get tricked by the spider thing. Yeah, they talk about the spiders making webs. That's not the right answer. 16. Read the sentence from the article. There would be no elephants lumbering their enormous bodies across vast stretches of land. The large land area on Earth would be empty. What does vast mean in the sentence above? Empty, huge, small, tiny. I'll give you a hint. It's not empty. 17. What is an effect of plants using sunlight to make food? The plants die. The plants breathe. The plants give off oxygen. The plants give off carbon dioxide. Remember which ones plants give off. We need it. Number 18. Read this sentence from the article. All living plants and animals need the sun to survive. Without it, they would die. Plants use sunlight to make food. What does survive mean in the sentence above? Die, fade, live, perish. Number 19. Because Earth makes a trip around the sun, places near the poles always have winter. Places on Earth have different seasons. Places near the equator have a mild climate. Places near the equator are very cold at night. There's a bunch of those that were not even close to being right. Okay? Then there was one that was correct, but that was not the right answer. Trips around the sun. Remember when I was making that demonstration in class, every time I would go around the sun, I would tell you the 4 things that happen as I move around the sun. And number 20. Places near the equator are hot because the sun shines almost directly overhead at noon. The equator is an imaginary line that circles the middle of the Earth. And the definition of equator helps the reader understand that it's located near the North Pole, near the South Pole, between the poles, or in Antarctica. Not Antarctica. Alright guys, we got both of our multiple choice tests done. Back with number 3 and your essay. Do not skip the essay.